Welcome to the world of science fiction. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss new stories. Enjoy the listening. The wind screamed through the rocky valley, sharp and cold, like it wanted to tear the world apart. On a distant planet, far from Earth, the sky churned with dark clouds. Lightning flashed, painting the jagged cliffs in silver light. Jack, a lone human explorer, trudged through the storm. His boots sank into wet gravel, and his breath fogged in the chilly air. He was tired, his pack heavy with tools and food, but his eyes stayed sharp. Jack was a man who never gave up, even when the universe felt too big and empty. He was here for rare minerals, the kind that could make him rich. But this planet was harsh, nothing but rocks, dust, and endless storms. Jack pulled his coat tighter, muttering to himself, just one more hour, then camp. His flashlight beam danced across the ground, searching for a safe spot. That's when he saw her. In a shallow cave, half hidden by shadows, lay a figure. Jack froze. It was a girl, carved from stone, lying flat on a bed of cold rocks. Her face was calm, like she was sleeping, but her body was cracked, like old pottery. Her arms rested by her sides, and her long hair, chiseled from stone, spilled over the ground. She looked human, but not quite. Her beauty was strange, almost alive, and it made Jack's heart skip. What are you?" he whispered, stepping closer. The storm roared outside, but the cave felt quiet, like it was holding its breath. Jack knelt beside her, his flashlight shaking in his hand. The stone girl's face was perfect, with soft curves and closed eyes. But the cracks worried him. They ran across her arms, chest, and legs, deep and jagged, like she'd been broken and left behind. He reached out, hesitating, then touched her hand. It was cold, but not as cold as it should be. A faint warmth lingered, like a heartbeat trapped in stone. Jack yanked his hand back, eyes wide. "This isn't right," he said to himself. He looked around, expecting someone or something to jump out. But the cave was empty, just him and the girl. Then it happened. A soft glow pulsed from her chest, faint but real, like a star trapped inside her. Jack's mouth went dry. He leaned closer, heart pounding. The glow flickered, slow and steady, matching the rhythm of his own breath. He didn't know why, but he felt drawn to her, like she was calling him without words. "Who left you here?" he asked, his voice echoing in the cave. No answer. The storm outside grew louder, rain pounding the rocks. Jack's mind raced. Was she a statue? A machine? Something alive? He'd seen strange things on other planets, alien ruins, broken tech, but nothing like this. Nothing that felt so human. He sat back, staring at her. The glow in her chest faded, then pulsed again, brighter. Jack's skin prickled. He swore he heard a whisper, soft and far away, like a breeze in his mind. "Help me," it said. He jumped, spinning around, but no one was there. His flashlight swept the cave, finding only shadows. "Who's there?" he called, voice shaking. Silence. Jack looked back at the stone girl. Her face hadn't changed, but he felt it. The whisper came from her. He didn't know how, but he was sure. His hand shook as he reached for his pack, pulling out his notebook. He sketched her quickly, capturing her face, the cracks, the strange glow. "I'm not crazy," he muttered, though he wasn't sure he believed it. The storm wouldn't stop, and Jack knew he couldn't leave her. Not like this, alone in the dark. He decided to stay. He dropped his pack and set up a small camp in the cave. His sleeping bag unrolled with a soft thud, and he lit a tiny lamp, casting a warm glow over the stone girl. "You're not alone anymore," he said, half to her, half to himself. As he worked, Jack talked. It felt silly, but the silence was too heavy. "I'm Jack," he said, setting up his stove. "Just a guy looking for shiny rocks. Been alone a long time. Guess you know what that's like." He chuckled, but his eyes stayed on her. The glow in her chest pulsed again, softer now, like it was listening. He ate a quick meal, cold soup from a can, and kept glancing at her. The cracks on her body looked worse in the lamplight, like they were growing. He wondered how long she'd been here. Years? Centuries? Who made her? Why did they leave her? The questions burned in his mind, keeping him awake. Jack pulled out his tools, checking his scanner. It beeped, picking up faint energy from her chest. Not just a statue, he said, excited. The scanner showed no metal, no circuits, just something alive, trapped in stone. He wanted to touch her again, to see if the warmth was real, but he stopped himself. What if she broke? What if she woke? The night grew darker, the storm louder. Jack lay in his sleeping bag, watching the stone girl. Her glow was steady now, like a heartbeat. He felt strange, like she was watching him back, even with her eyes closed. I'll figure you out, he whispered, his voice soft. I promise. As he drifted to sleep, the cave felt warmer, safer. The wind outside howled, but inside, it was just Jack and the stone girl. He didn't see it, but her stone eyelid twitched, just a little. The glow in her chest flared brighter for a moment, then dimmed. The cave stayed quiet, but something had changed. Something was waking. The storm raged on, hiding the valley from the stars. Jack slept, unaware of the mystery he'd stumbled into. The stone girl lay still, her secrets locked inside. Who was she? Why was she here? And what would happen when she woke? The answers were close, buried in the cold stones, waiting for Jack to find them. The storm had passed, leaving the valley quiet under a pale morning sky. Sunlight crept into the shallow cave, painting the stone girl's cracked surface with soft gold. Jack woke with a start, his sleeping bag tangled around him. His eyes darted to her, half expecting her to be gone. But she was still there, lying on the cold rocks, her face calm and unchanged. The faint glow in her chest pulsed slowly, like a heartbeat, and Jack's own heart raced as he remembered the whisper from last night, "Help me." He rubbed his eyes, muttering, "Not a dream, then." The cave smelled of damp stone and his stale soup from the night before. Jack stood, stretching his sore back, and knelt beside the stone girl. Up close, she looked even more human. Her lips were carved so perfectly, they seemed ready to speak. But the cracks worried him, deep lines across her arms and chest, like she might shatter if he touched her. Jack pulled out his notebook, flipping to his sketch of her. He added details, the way her stone hair curled, the strange symbols carved into her arms. The symbols were sharp, angular, like nothing he'd seen on any planet. Who made you? He asked softly, tracing a symbol with his finger. The stone felt warm again, not like rock at all. He shivered, glancing around the cave. It was still just him and her. He grabbed his canteen and poured a little water over her arm, trying to clean the dirt from her cracks. The water hissed, turning to steam, and the glow in her chest flared brighter, like a spark catching fire. Jack jumped back, dropping the canteen. What the? He started, then froze. Her fingers twitched, just a tiny movement, but real. His breath caught in his throat. You're alive, he whispered. The stone girl didn't move again, but Jack's mind was racing. He knelt closer, his voice shaky but gentle. Hey, I'm Jack. I won't hurt you. I found you here. He waited, hoping for another sign. Nothing. But the glow kept pulsing, stronger now, like it was listening to him. He swallowed hard, feeling silly but unable to stop. I don't know if you can hear me, but I'm staying. You're not alone anymore. Jack decided to make the cave safer for her. The storm was gone, but more could come. He couldn't leave her exposed to wind and rain. He grabbed his tools and started gathering stones from the valley. They were heavy, rough, but perfect for building. He worked fast, piling them near the cave's entrance. Gonna make you a shelter, he said, glancing at her. Something strong. Like you. As he worked, Jack talked. It felt natural, like she was a friend who could answer. I've been alone a long time, he said, stacking stones. Came out here to find rare stuff, you know? Minerals, metals. Something to make life easier back home. He paused, wiping sweat from his face. But it's lonely. Just me and the stars. Guess you get that, lying here all this time. The sun climbed higher, and the shelter took shape, a small wall around the stone girl, high enough to block the wind. Jack's hands were scratched and sore, but he didn't care. Every time he looked at her, the glow in her chest seemed brighter, like she knew he was trying. He smiled, feeling a strange warmth in his own chest. "You're worth it," he said, half joking. He sat to rest, sipping water and studying her. The symbols on her arms seemed to shimmer in the sunlight, like they held secrets. Jack's scanner beeped when he pointed it at her. It showed energy, faint but steady, coming from her chest. "Not just stone," he muttered, excited. "You're something else. Something special." As the day faded, Jack kept working. He told her about his life, growing up on a dusty Earth colony, dreaming of stars, losing friends to the dangers of space. "I don't give up easy," he said, setting another stone. "That's why I'm here. And why I'm not leaving you." The glow pulsed faster, and Jack's heart skipped. He leaned closer, whispering, "Can you hear me? Give me a sign." Her head tilted, just a fraction, toward his voice. Jack gasped, stumbling back. "You moved," he said, his voice echoing in the cave. He waited, staring, but she was still again. The glow dimmed, like it was tired. Jack laughed nervously. Okay. You're in there. I'll wait. I'm not going anywhere." Night fell, and Jack lit his lamp, casting a warm glow over the half-built shelter. He sat beside her, eating another cold meal. The valley was quiet, but something felt different. The air was heavy, like a storm was coming, not rain, but something else. Jack's scanner beeped, picking up a faint signal from outside the cave. He ignored it, too focused on her. Then he saw it, a shadow moved outside, quick and silent. Jack grabbed his flashlight, heart pounding, and aimed it at the cave's entrance. Nothing. Just rocks and darkness. "Who's there?" he called, his voice sharp. No answer. He stepped outside, sweeping the beam across the valley. The wind was still, the stars bright, but something felt wrong. He hurried back to the stone girl, his pulse racing. Her glow was brighter now, pulsing fast, like a warning. Jack knelt beside her, his hand hovering over hers. "What's out there?" he asked, voice low. The cave was silent, but the glow kept flickering, urgent and alive. Jack sat back, watching her. He didn't know what was coming, but he knew one thing: he wouldn't leave her. Not now, not ever. The shelter wasn't finished, but it was a start, a promise. He leaned close, whispering, "We'll figure this out. Together." Outside, the valley stayed dark, hiding its secrets. The stone girl lay still, her glow steady now, like she trusted him. But something was watching, waiting in the shadows. Jack didn't see it, but the audience would, a faint shape, moving closer, then gone. The glow in her chest pulsed one last time, bright and fierce, before fading to black. The morning sun spilled into the cave, warming the half-built stone shelter Jack had worked so hard to create. The valley outside was calm, the air still after last night's eerie shadow. Jack sat beside the stone girl, his eyes heavy from a restless sleep. He hadn't stopped thinking about her, her glow, her twitching fingers, the whisper in his mind. The shelter's walls now surrounded her, sturdy and tall, blocking the wind. Jack smiled, brushing dirt off his hands. "Your home's looking good," he said softly. He pulled a blanket from his pack and draped it over her cracked stone body. "Gotta keep you warm," he joked, tucking it around her. The glow in her chest flickered, brighter than ever, like a fire waking up. Jack froze, his heart pounding. The glow pulsed faster, spreading light through her cracks, and then, her eyes opened. They were golden, bright as stars, and they locked onto Jack's face. Jack stumbled back, gasping. "You're awake," he said, his voice shaking with shock and excitement. The stone girl blinked, slow and unsure, like she was seeing the world for the first time. Her lips parted, and a soft, broken voice came out. "Why, help me," she asked, each word heavy, like it took all her strength. Jack knelt closer, his hands hovering, afraid to touch her. "I found you here, alone," he said. "I couldn't leave you. I'm Jack." Her golden eyes softened, studying him. The cracks on her face seemed deeper now, like they hurt. She tried to move, her stone arm creaking, but a piece chipped off, falling to the ground with a dull clink. She stopped, staring at it, fear in her eyes. "Hey, it's okay," Jack said, his voice gentle. "You're safe now." He didn't know if that was true, but he wanted her to believe it. Her glow dimmed, and she tilted her head like she was trying to understand him. "Safe," she whispered, the word new and strange to her. Jack nodded, smiling. "Yeah, safe. With me." He pointed to the shelter. "I built this for you. No more cold stones." Her eyes followed his hand, taking in the walls he'd made. The glow in her chest pulsed warmer, like she felt his effort. "Jack," she said, testing his name. It sounded soft, almost grateful. He grinned, his heart lighter than it had been in years. "That's me. What's your name?" She frowned, her stone brow creasing. "I don't know," she said, her voice fading. "I don't remember." Jack's smile faltered. Who was she? Why was she here, forgotten? He wanted to ask, but her eyes looked so sad, he couldn't push her. Instead, he sat beside her, keeping his voice calm. "That's okay. How about I call you Luna? Like the moon. You glow like one." Her lips twitched, almost a smile. "Luna," she repeated, nodding. "I like it." Jack laughed, relieved. For the first time, she felt real, not just a mystery. Luna tried to sit up, her stone body grinding against the rocks. Jack reached out, catching her arm as she wobbled. Her skin was hard but warm, like stone left in the sun. "Easy," he said, holding her steady. Their eyes met, and something passed between them, a quiet trust, fragile but growing. Luna's glow softened, and she leaned into his touch, just a little. "You're kind," she said, her voice stronger now. "No one ever helped me." Jack's chest tightened. How long had she been alone? Centuries? Longer? He wanted to ask, but her cracks were spreading, tiny flakes falling as she moved. He worried she might break apart. "Luna, don't move too much," he said, his voice firm but kind. "You're hurt. I'll figure out how to fix you." She looked at him, her golden eyes wide. "Fix me?" she asked, unsure. Jack nodded. "Yeah. I'm not letting you fall apart." He didn't know how, but he meant it. They sat in silence, the shelter's walls casting long shadows. Jack felt her watching him, like she was trying to understand why he cared. He didn't fully understand it himself. He'd been alone for so long, drifting from planet to planet, but Luna felt like a reason to stay. Then Luna's glow flickered, fast and urgent. Her eyes darted to the cave's entrance. "They're coming," she said, her voice sharp with fear. Jack's blood ran cold. "Who?" he asked, standing up. Luna's stone hand grabbed his, surprisingly strong. "I don't know," she whispered. "But they want me." Jack's heart raced. He looked outside, but the valley was empty, the sky clear. "No one's taking you," he said, his voice hard. He grabbed his scanner, checking for signals. It beeped, picking up something faint, far away. Luna's glow dimmed, and her body slumped, like she was too weak to stay awake. "Luna!" Jack caught her, easing her back to the rocks. Her eyes fluttered, struggling to stay open. "Jack, hide," she whispered, then went still, her glow fading to a faint pulse. Jack's hands shook as he checked her. She was alive, but barely. He covered her with the blanket, his mind racing. Who was coming? Why did they want her? A low rumble shook the ground, deep and distant, like a machine waking up. Jack ran to the cave's entrance, his flashlight in hand. The valley looked calm, but the sky wasn't. Strange lights blinked high above, moving fast, too precise to be stars. They were ships, or drones, or something worse. Jack's stomach twisted. He didn't know what they were, but he knew one thing: he had to protect Luna. He hurried back to her, his voice low. "I won't let them take you," he said, though she couldn't hear him. The shelter felt small now, like it couldn't hide them from whatever was out there. Jack gripped his tools, ready to fight if he had to. The rumble grew louder, and the lights in the sky came closer. Luna's glow flickered once, weak but there, like she was holding on for him. Jack's heart pounded, but he stood tall, guarding her. The valley was no longer safe, and the mystery of Luna was bigger than he'd thought. Something was coming, and it wanted her. Jack wouldn't let that happen, not now, not ever. The valley trembled under a sky lit by strange, cold lights. Jack crouched in the stone shelter, his heart pounding as he watched the cave's entrance. Luna lay behind him, her glow faint, her cracked stone body still after her warning, "They're coming." The rumble outside grew louder, like a beast waking from sleep. Jack gripped his scanner, its screen flashing with signals too strong to ignore. Something was close, too close. He glanced at Luna, her golden eyes closed, her chest barely pulsing with light. "Hang on," he whispered, though she couldn't hear him. The shelter he'd built felt fragile now, its stone walls no match for whatever was out there. Jack's mind raced. Who wanted Luna? Why? He didn't know, but he'd promised to protect her, and he wasn't backing down. A sharp hum cut through the air, and Jack peeked outside. 3 sleek drones hovered above the valley, their metal bodies glinting in the starlight. They were small, no bigger than his pack, but their red eyes glowed like predators. Strange symbols pulsed on their sides, symbols Jack recognized. They matched the ones carved on Luna's arms. His stomach twisted. "They're here for you," he muttered, fear and anger mixing in his chest. The drones scanned the valley, their beams sweeping the rocks. Jack ducked back, his breath fast and shallow. He grabbed his tools, pulling out a signal jammer he'd used for mining. "Come on, work," he said, tweaking its settings. The jammer whined, sending a pulse that made the drones wobble. Their beams flickered, and they drifted away, confused. Jack exhaled, but he knew it wouldn't last. They'd be back. He turned to Luna, kneeling beside her. Her cracks had spread, tiny flakes of stone dusting the blanket he'd given her. "Wake up, Luna," he said, his voice soft but urgent. "I need you to tell me what's going on." Her glow pulsed weakly, and her eyes fluttered open, golden but dim. "Jack," she whispered, her voice like a breeze. "Luna, who are they?" Jack asked, leaning close. "Why do they want you?" She tried to sit up, but her arm cracked loudly, and she winced. Jack caught her, holding her steady. Her stone skin felt warmer now, almost human, but so fragile. "Don't move," he said. "Just talk." Luna's eyes met his, filled with fear and something else, trust. "I remember some things," she said, her voice shaking. "Long ago, I was made. Not born. Made by them." She glanced at the cave's entrance, where the drone's hum echoed faintly. "They were old, older than stars. They built me to guard their secrets, their knowledge. I was their keeper." Jack's eyes widened. "You're like a library? A computer?" Luna shook her head, a small, sad smile on her lips. "More than that. I feel. I think. But they locked me in stone, to live forever, to wait." Her voice broke. "They left me. They forgot me." Jack's heart ached. He pictured Luna, alone for centuries, trapped in her stone prison. "Why did they leave you?" he asked. Luna's glow dimmed. "Their world died. They fled, or vanished. I don't know. I stayed, sleeping, until you." Her eyes softened, looking at him. "You woke me." Jack swallowed, his throat tight. "And now they're back for you," he said. Luna nodded, her cracks spreading as she moved. "Not them. Others. New ones. They want what I hold. The knowledge. It's dangerous." Her voice faded, and she slumped, weaker than before. Jack's jaw clenched. "They're not taking you," he said, his voice hard. He looked at the shelter, its walls strong but not enough. "I'll build you a new home, Luna. A real one. A life with me." Her eyes flickered, surprised. Alive, she whispered, like the word was new. Jack nodded, his hand on hers. Yeah. You're not a thing. You're Luna. A loud buzz snapped Jack's attention back to the valley. The drones were returning, their beams brighter, cutting through the dark. His jammer beeped, its power low. Damn it, he muttered, grabbing his pack. Luna, we need to move. She shook her head, her voice faint. I can't. I'll break. Jack's heart pounded, but he wouldn't give up. Then I'll carry you, he said, slipping his arms under her. She was heavy, her stone body grinding against itself, but he lifted her, blanket and all. Her glow pulsed, warm against his chest. Hold on, he said, stepping toward the cave's back, looking for a hiding spot. Before he could move far, a beam hit the shelter. Stones exploded, dust choking the air. Jack shielded Luna, coughing as he stumbled. The drones were above them now, their red eyes locked on the cave. Another blast shook the walls, and a chunk of the shelter collapsed, blocking the entrance. Jack's heart sank. They were trapped. Luna, stay with me, he said, setting her down behind a rock. Her glow was fading, her cracks deep and jagged. Jack! I'm sorry, she whispered. You should run. Jack shook his head, his eyes fierce. Not without you. He grabbed a metal rod from his pack, ready to fight, though he knew it was useless against drones. The drone's hum grew louder, their beams slicing through the dust. Jack stood in front of Luna, his body a shield. He didn't know who these others were, or what knowledge Luna held, but he knew one thing, she was his friend, maybe more. He wouldn't let her go. Luna's hand touched his back, weak but there. You're kind, she said, her voice barely audible. Her glow flickered, like a candle in the wind. Jack turned, his eyes wide. Don't give up, Luna, he said, his voice breaking. We'll get through this. The drones blasted again, and the shelter's last wall crumbled. Dust and stone rained down, and Jack covered Luna, his heart racing. The red eyes of the drones glowed through the haze, closing in. Luna's glow faded to almost nothing, and the valley shook with their hum. Jack held her tight, ready to fight, ready to lose anything to keep her safe. Dust choked the air as the crumbled shelter lay in ruins. Jack crouched in a narrow cave, Luna's stone body heavy in his arms. The drone's red eyes glowed outside, their hum like a swarm of angry bees. Luna's glow was faint, her cracks so deep that bits of stone flaked off with every move. Jack's heart pounded, but he held her close, his voice low. Stay with me, Luna, he said. Her golden eyes fluttered, weak but open. Jack, you gave me hope, she whispered. No one ever cared. Jack's throat tightened. He brushed a stone flake from her cheek, his fingers trembling. I care, he said, his voice soft but fierce. I love you, Luna. Not as stone, but as you. Her eyes widened, her glow flickering like a spark. Love, she asked, the word strange and new. Jack nodded, his heart bare. Yeah. You're my home now. The drone's beams sliced through the cave's entrance, and Jack pulled Luna deeper into the shadows. The walls shook, rocks falling around them. Luna's hand gripped his, her stone fingers cold but strong. They want my knowledge, she said, her voice fading. It's too much power. Jack's jaw clenched. He didn't care what the drones wanted. He wouldn't let them take her. A drone buzzed closer, its red eye locking onto them. Jack grabbed a metal rod from his pack, his only weapon. Stay back, he shouted, swinging it hard. The rod hit the drone, sparking as it wobbled and crashed into the wall. But more drones came, their beams burning the air. Jack's heart sank. There were too many. Luna's glow flared suddenly, bright as a star. She pushed herself up, her stone body grinding, cracks splitting wider. No, Jack said, reaching for her. You'll break. But Luna's eyes burned with golden fire. I won't let them hurt you, she said, her voice strong for the first time. She stood, wobbling, and raised her hands. The glow in her chest exploded outward, a wave of light that shook the cave. The drones froze, their red eyes flickering. Sparks burst from their metal bodies, and one by one, they fell, crashing to the ground in smoking heaps. The hum stopped, and the valley went silent. Luna's glow faded, and she collapsed, her body turning fully to stone, lifeless and still. The glow in her chest was gone. "Luna!" Jack cried, catching her before she hit the ground. Her stone form was cold now, heavier than ever. He shook her, his voice breaking. "Wake up! Please!" But her eyes stayed closed, her cracks deep and final. Tears stung Jack's eyes as he held her, the cave dark and quiet around them. "You can't leave me," he whispered. Days passed. Jack didn't leave the cave. He couldn't. Luna was gone, but he refused to let her stay broken. He remembered her words, how she was made, not born, a keeper of secrets. If her makers could build her, so could he. He gathered stones from the valley, smooth and strong, and set to work. His hands bled as he carved, his tools chipping away to shape a new body for Luna. He worked day and night, his heart heavy but stubborn. He carved her face first, copying the soft curves he'd memorized. "You're not gone," he muttered, chiseling her eyes, her lips. He made her new body smoother, stronger, with no cracks. From her old form, he took the faint crystal in her chest, the glow, her heart. It was dim but warm, like it still held a piece of her. He placed it carefully in the new stone body, sealing it with care. Weeks later, Jack finished. The new Luna lay on a bed of soft moss he'd gathered, her stone skin gleaming in the cave's dim light. She looked like before, but different, stronger, more human. Jack sat beside her, exhausted but hopeful. "Come back to me," he whispered, touching her hand. The crystal in her chest flickered, just a tiny spark. Nothing happened. Jack's heart sank, but he waited, his hand on hers. Hours passed, then days. He talked to her, telling stories of his travels, his dreams, their future. "I built you a home, Luna," he said. "Not just stone. A life. With me." His voice cracked, but he kept talking, refusing to give up. One night, under a sky full of stars, the crystal flared. A soft glow spread through her new body, warming the stone. Jack gasped, leaning close. Her fingers twitched, then her eyes opened, golden, bright, alive. "Jack," she said, her voice clear and soft, like a breeze after a storm. "Luna." Jack laughed, tears in his eyes. He helped her sit up, her new body moving smoothly, no cracks, no pain. Her skin felt warm, almost soft, like stone kissed by life. She touched his face, her eyes wide. "You made me new," she said, amazed. Jack grinned. "Told you I'd fix you." Luna smiled, her first real smile, and it lit up the cave. "This is home," she said, her hand on his. "With you." Jack's heart swelled. He pulled her close, their foreheads touching. "You're my wife now, Luna," he said, half joking, half serious. She laughed, a sound like music. "Wife," she repeated, testing the word. "I like it." They stepped out of the cave, hand in hand, into the quiet valley. The stars shone above, and the broken drones lay scattered, forgotten. Jack and Luna stood together, free at last. He looked at her, his eyes soft. "We'll make our own story now," he said. She nodded, her glow steady and warm. As they walked into the valley, the camera panned to the sky. High above, a faint shape blinked, an alien ship, silent and watching. It hovered for a moment, then vanished into the stars. The screen faded to black, with words appearing, "Their story isn't over." The valley stretched before Jack and Luna, full of promise. They had each other, a home built from stone and trust. Whatever came next, aliens, secrets, or new worlds, they'd face it together. Jack squeezed her hand, and Luna's glow lit their path, a beacon in the dark.